Good morning, sunshiners. Good morning. It is Tom Brody. It is 7:07, a little bit after 7:07, just slightly. It's time for 7 minutes of sunshine. See if we can find some sunshine today. With all the craziness in the world going on, we got to look for the sunshine. We got to be the sunshine. That's the challenge, right? So let's get it. Let's get it on. Let's get some sunshine. A couple things. I was just kind of going through cleaning up all these slides that I have. So I've got this software that I use called BeLive, and there's a stage, and I keep all these slides and all these photographs and stuff, and it's gotten huge. There's so many there. So I kind of went through and was looking through them and trying to clean it up a little bit because I think it's slowed down my ability to move the slides, as you've probably noticed. So anyway, I grabbed a couple of them just to bring back up because I really like them and I wanted to share them again. I think this one is really helpful to remember that it helps if you remember that everyone is doing their best from their level of consciousness. All right. And that folks are at different places in their own development. Remembering that and doing our best to kind of meet them where they are. That doesn't mean that we have to accept things that we still obviously need to show up with our values and that we need to set boundaries and all that kind of stuff. But just to acknowledge the fact that some people are at different levels of consciousness. All right. Doesn't make anybody better than anybody else. It just is. So I think that's a good one to remember. This one I have brought up a few times, and I love reminding us all of this, that courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. By Maya Angelou. I love that, remembering that it takes courage to stand up for our values. Sometimes it takes a little courage even to challenge ourselves to recognize when we aren't, right? It's sometimes pretty easy to fall into rationalization of, well, so it takes a little courage. Just a good reminder that it's the most important of all the virtues. And then this one I really like too as well, that the world is changed by our example, not by our opinion. I love that, especially as I troll through Facebook looking for good stuff to put on this program. I see a lot of opinions, and then you have to ask yourself, well, come on. It's about showing up. It's about doing. It's about acting. It's about living our values. That's what's going to make the difference in the world. So I love that one as well. And then today, I thought I would share something that I learned yesterday. I learned about this feelings wheel. It's a little hard to read on the screen, but I'm going to post it on the page as well. And I got to do a little session yesterday with some folks around this wheel and about feelings. Feelings. I'm sorry, I won't do that to you. But feelings, and obviously we all have them, and how important it is to recognize our feelings when they come up, no matter what feeling it might be. And that in this wheel, you can see kind of the base feelings of anger, feeling disgusted, feeling sad, feeling happy, feeling surprised, feeling bad, feeling fearful, are kind of like the base emotions. And we tend to be in one of those places or feeling one of those feelings most of the time. And then out from them, and it's a little hard to read here, but out from them are all the associated feelings. And it's very interesting to kind of go through that wheel. And I will post this for you and kind of think about maybe where you're at or where you've been, what you've been feeling, and further go down through that wheel to try to refine some of those different feelings that you might be feeling. So acknowledging them, understanding that feelings are not good or bad, taking the judgment out of them, that they're really important indicators that there's something to look at, something to learn, usually, and go for it, right? I'm kind of in that space right now. Always, we all are, always, but God, I've been feeling a lot of anger And I've talked about, how important it is to channel that anger for me, to do something positive, but also understanding that anger, it's a very powerful emotion, isn't it? It can spur us into action, but it also is something that we need to acknowledge. I need to acknowledge when I'm feeling it, understand where it's coming from, and continue to try to learn from it. And a lot of times it has to do with that good old serenity prayer. Lord God, give me the courage to basically tell the difference between what I can and cannot control. Right. A lot of times it has to do with that, things I can control and what I can't control. And a lot of times for me, it has to do with the fact of uh, not being able to understand that need that I have that's not being met. That's another real cool. And there's a thing called a needs wheel. Oh my gosh, all this psychobabble. But anyway, there's a needs wheel too. And it's like understanding the need underlying where that feeling might be coming from. So lots of good stuff, folks. Always learning, always trying to find ways to learn about ourselves. Me, I try to do that so that obviously, ultimately, can spread a little more sunshine, right? Which is really cool. So, wanted to share the feelings wheel with you. I will post it. You can take a look at this too. Uh, just an acknowledgement that as you go through this day, maybe just try to recognize the different feelings that are coming up. Recognize them is the biggest step. Acknowledging that you're having this whatever feeling it is. Many times they just pass right through. All right, let them pass through. Feel the feeling, let it be, and then if it requires some further understanding, take some time to reflect on where that feeling might be coming from, and you could just learn a whole hell of a lot. It's a really good process to go through. That's my message today. I hope that you have a wonderful day today. Remember that even when it's really damn cloudy out, the sun is always shining, and you are the sunshine. I will see you